Elliot. As mentioned, Ms. Emily and I worked on Math 114 together, so you should see a lot of similarities between the two. She's been a wonderful help this semester. So we have here a welcome page, and we'll focus mainly on the Blackboard. We've segregated this so that most of the work is done in my math lab, and it was the communication and Blackboard, but that was a nice clean break for them. So since we're discussing interaction, Blackboard seems like the logical place to be. We'll start with, I have them coming into the welcome page. Probably later in the semester I'll switch that, but we'll start off there with a quick introduction and some assignments. The assignments are meant to help them learn how to get around the system. So I broke it into, I had a bunch of them, so I broke them into 4 steps, and so that they had similar themes to them. The first one, readiness test and welcome assignment. So they go take a readiness test to make sure online classes is really for them. And a voice thread, I'll spare you the voice thread except myself talking, where they see me introduce myself, and then they comment. And just in case they don't know how to comment on the voice thread, some corrections. Back here to step 2. This is syllabus and required material. So we have a link here to the syllabus, takes them over to the syllabus on the side. And what I want them to do is read the syllabus, and there's an agreement at the end. Okay? Let me just pull it up and scroll to the bottom. And wait for it. So right at the very end, just a very quick statement. I acknowledged, I've reviewed, I've read, and if I have any concerns, I will contact. They will fill that out and upload it in as an assignment. It's worth points. Anything I have to do, I like to make it worth points. Otherwise, they don't. And I think it's important for us to know that they have looked at that. They not necessarily they don't have to agree with it, but they have to have read it. So we have that. We have the 3 directions. Go down, and it's listed as a step, but it's just be sure you have what you need. The software, talk a little bit about where to buy it and where not to buy it. Calculator they would need. Assure that they have the right technical requirements. So we have a few things there. And correlation charts, telling them about the objectives and how it correlates to the class. So just some basic about the class information. And then we move on to step 3. This is all about Blackboard. Now they have a document here that, so it's a load. I put the most important part of it right there with the assumption they may not read it since there's not points, but the rest of it is here. And the nice thing about this document is that it has a lot of links to written instructions, video instructions, tutorials. So it's all there for them. If they are ambitious enough to read it, they've been asked to read it, they've been told to read it, so they will read it. Hence the long intro. And I asked them to, saying I was Donnelly, go to the discussion board and post an introduction to themselves. So even though they're going to be doing that on VoiceThread, I think it's very important that they do this on the discussion board. They're going to be working with one another on the discussion board all semester. You have to get them in there, have to get them talking to one another. So very quick, show them how to find the discussion board, suggestions on how to use it, and it's there to support one another. It's not to gab and chat. It's to say, hey, I'm having problems with this, can you help me with that? Help each other, have me help them. but to get some interaction rather than sitting alone in a room doing math. That for me is fine, for many though is not their happy moments. So we try to get them out there and talking with people. Talks a little bit about the 3 different types of discussion boards. Introductions, that's just for this introduction. Put it out there, wanted to make it worth points, so made it stand alone. And I didn't really fit into the other categories, so I wanted them to just be able to go there, introduce themselves, and then later, as Ms. Emily mentioned, they can go back and say, oh, who was that person? And I'm being asked to evaluate. They will be asked to evaluate each other. It's right there they can see each other. We have some directions on how to use discussion boards and also how to use the content editor. Thought that they might need that. So once they read that, my hope is that they come here to discussion boards. There's the introduction discussion board.
Love smiley face.
It seemed appropriate. So I did start them off very quick. And one of the things I'm really hoping they do is post a picture, because I want them to be able to post pictures of the homework that they're working on. Instead of saying, I'm having troubles with number 1. Take a picture of number 1, post it, and put it up there. So I wanted to start it off with a picture. And it's very, very slow. Actually, it's a picture the day before our wedding. We went walking along the beach. And if it ever comes up, I'll show you what we saw. It seemed appropriate for the beginning of the class, as well as the very beginning of the wedding.
Where's that at?
Victoria, British Columbia. There's a little cove on the beach. We're gathering pebbles and rocks and looking for treasures. And somebody had done that with the driftwood.
So pretty.
Isn't that nice? And as I said, the day before our wedding, it was a wonderful
Yeah.
find. So I put that there. I want them to hopefully put a picture up, hopefully that inspires them to put something of their own up. Get used to posting pictures, because I think that's the most likely way that they'll share what they're doing on paper with us, is with a photograph. Okay, so once they do that, we'll go back to welcome, assignments, nice bullet points, and elements bullet points. The ever important My Math Lab, where they're going to learn math. Talk about how to get there, written directions, video directions on registering, and then it's my hope that they are able to register after that. Some other things that we have in here, of course the syllabus is here. We've got contact information, syllabus, correlation charts. Of course, calendar, there's 2 of them. One has to do with My Math Lab. It feeds over all the due dates for My Math Lab. Blackboard calendar was there just for anything that wasn't My Math Lab related. Weekly agenda, very similar to Ms. Donnelly's. I've got the week at a glance that they can download the document. Mine being 16 weeks is a little longer, so I'll save you. I'll spare that to you. We have the different weeks. Think about lesson plans. If you don't have edit mode off, it looks a little weird.
I know, I got really confused whenever I had that. I'm like, what is this? But it made a lot more sense once I turned it off.
Yeah, once it's off, it looks like it's supposed to look.
Yeah.
So I'll turn that off there so you can see. It's just very quick to-do list. And if they don't click on it, they still have major dates. This week to this week, Labor Day, Assessment Day, an exam. Okay, so that they still have all that available for them. The enter My Math Lab here, that's where they do most of the work. Very quickly, very similar, very similar. Go to the same place, it's got a matching red theme. They won't see anything It's shaded out here. When they go in, they'll just go straight into assignments. They can check their calendar, their grade book, and the same supplemental materials available to them. HD ebook, multimedia, tutoring services if they like. It's totally on them, but to let them know that that's available. And supplemental problems, those are generated from their work. And you can see here I did a little bit of work there, so it's showing where I am in the process, and I can go in and get extra problems to do. And they can go through here and they can choose to do different things to help them study their things. Other things. Financial project. We're going to have one major project this semester. Just a very quick highlight telling them about it, the rubrics, and the actual project itself will be uploaded through assignments, but right now it's visible for the review process, but it'll probably be hidden and set to appear, right before they need it. And that's why the description. Let's see. Peer evaluation, they will, as mentioned, evaluate each other on that. They're there to support each other, to act like a team and a group, and they're the only ones that know if they did it right. Now, there is no right and wrong, but everyone's know if they did it well. So they will evaluate themselves at the end. We're going to be very upfront about that. Failure to complete is to choose a 0 yourself. But right now these are set to do over and over again. The survey will be complete once we have a roster, and they'll have a time period to do it in and so many times to do it in. All that will be set closer. But this is the type of thing we'll do. Rate student 1, it will be an A. On participation, contributes, demonstrates, contributes successfully to success of the discussion board. And you'll make your recommendations. And I keep thinking about the surveys. If I back out without doing it, it yells at me, so I'm just going to do it. I've discovered that. Opening the meeting, it keeps reminding me I didn't finish. You didn't finish. Did you need to not finish?
Yes.
Okay. They can check their grades here. For me, there's something there. Something else I've set up is achievements. And right now, I only have it set to a few things. And because it's me, you're not seeing it, but as my fake student, they achieved the syllabus, which means they read the syllabus and checked on, show you, that they reviewed it, and then they get a little award for it. And my fake student has also made a pass reality check AC. Right now I've got the requirements for getting achievements low, but probably would make it like an 80%. You have to achieve it at a certain level later. I want it low right now so I can play with it. Discussion boards, one last time, the introduction one. There's a private one, in case we're feeling shy, and the public one that they have to interact on. They don't have to ask questions. They don't have to answer questions, but they have to do something. They can choose one, they can do both. It's up to them. The private board, I do have a little something populated here, which I think eventually I will put on the public one again to seed it so they understand what is expected of them. But I went in as my fake student and asked a fake question in the private board. So here's the fake question, something I would have been writing out on paper. Took a picture with my phone, uploaded it from my phone into Blackboard without any problem. That was seamless. And then went in as myself, pulled it out. And this I did in OneNote and just took a screenshot of it and brought it back in for them. Okay. And these are set to send an email. To me and to the student, and there's new threads, new posts, so that they have that communication. The same with the public one. It is, I'm going this way. It's set though, whenever there's a new thread. private one, if anything happens, because it's their own private one, they're gonna get a notification if they choose to sign up for notifications. They don't have to. I'm going to sign up. I want to know if they're sending me a private message. I'm not going to the classroom one. I don't want emails every time someone sends post something in the public one, but in the private one, I'm setting that up. Public one, general classroom, materials for exam one, and then it's subcategorized with chapters. And we do remind them, if you want email notification, subscribe to that thread. Let's see. Zoom room for office hours, some directions, and USI, everything's of USI and non-USI. I think everything that's there. What do I like most? Organization. I like having things organized. That's nice. Already using some of this in other classes. I've learned a lot about blackboards. That's helped me take that into the classroom. Let's see. Important things to keep in mind when developing an online course, that I can't look at the room and say, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you this. I've got to be sure to have it up front. And just like everyone else, I define success by their success. If they succeed, and the majority of my emails are not, how do I find this? How do I upload this? Then that's good. Then at least the setup was good. And we can focus on what we're really focusing on.
All right, any questions?
I just want to make a quick comment, and I'm sure yours is probably said it. I just think y'all do a really good job with the student interaction. And I think it's set up very well. If I was taking an online math class, it would be perfect. So that I know I had a safe place to ask questions, other students could help, or if I had specific that I didn't want everyone else to know that maybe I didn't know how to do that, I had a safe place to ask just the instructor. So I just think it's a great job.
No, I really want to commend you, because I know that was the big worry coming into this. How are you going to make this collaborative process work in an online environment? And I couldn't have thought of a better way to do it than what you guys did. So
well, I think it's very interactive.
Yes.
Maybe even more interactive than it would have been if you were inside of a class. How often do they share and help each other during a face-to-face class? You know, so I think that you did a really great job on that.
Thank you. Thank you for helping us with the discussion boards.
They said every time I met with y'all,
I remember with the
new
midterm, you had it where you were having to do an individual for every
Right.
segment.
Yeah, this is a little cleaner.
Yes.
So that's, I'm glad you're going to put it together.
Yeah.
We've got it with a little bit of help.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you.